Welcome to Before the Council, a reading of the Revere City Council Agenda for the meeting of Monday, February 3rd, 2014. There are 8 items on the agenda this week. Coverage begins at 5:30 with the Appointments Committee meeting, officially known as the Appointments and Personnel Administration Committee, chaired by Councilor Arthur Guanasso. He will be joined by Councilors Jessica Giannino, Steve Morabito, Charles J. Patch Sr., and Councilor Stephen Reardon. On their agenda are the following appointments. 1. The appointment of Neil Shea, Jr. of Revere as a constable. 2. The appointment of Cynthia Tolis of Revere as a constable. 3. The appointment of Nicholas Maglione of Revere as a constable. 4. The reappointment of J. Marchese and Sons, Incorporated of Everett as a licensed drain layer. 5. A residency waiver for Mr. Michael Kessman, Project Engineer, Community Development of Brighton, Massachusetts. 6. A residency waiver for Ms. Lawrence Kuxa, part-time at the Public Library from East Boston, Massachusetts. 7. Reappointment as Chair of the Board of Assessors, Mr. Andrew Iavana of Revere for a 3-year term expiring on February 14th, 2017. 8. For reappointment to the Conservation Commission, Mr. Joseph A. LaValle of Revere for a 3-year term. 9. For reappointment to the Conservation Commission, Mr. Vincent Camerata of Revere for a 3-year term. 10. For reappointment to the Health Board, Dr. John L. Benecki of Revere for a 3-year term. 11. For reappointment to the Planning Board, Mr. Henry Tufo of Revere for a 3-year term. 12. For reappointment to the Disability Commission, Ms. Lucy Cavallo of Revere for a 3-year term. 13. For reappointment to the Disability Commission, Mr. Harvey Corin of Revere for a 3-year term. And 14. For reappointment to the Disability Commission, Mr. Paul Mazzoni of Revere for a 3-year term. Please note that in order for an appointment to be confirmed by the full City Council, the appointee must attend the Appointments Committee meeting. At 6 p.m., we move to the Revere City Council meeting, which begins with a salute to the flag, the roll call of members, and the approval of the journal of the meeting held on January 27th, 2014. Then it's on to calendar item number 1. Mohegan Sun will conduct its presentation that was made to the Massachusetts Gaming Commission. Calendar item number 2 is the Appointments Committee report. Calendar item number 3 is a communication from the Superintendent of Public Schools requesting a conflict of interest exemption under Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 268A, Section 20B, for Mr. Jose Cardenas, paraprofessional and translator. Dated January 28, 2014. With this letter, I am requesting that an exemption be granted to Mr. Jose Francisco Kiko Cardenas under the Directive of Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 268A, Section 20, Municipal Employees, Financial Interests in Contracts. Mr. Cardenas is a full-time paraprofessional on staff at the Revere Public Schools. In addition, we would like to hire Mr. Cardenas to provide written translation services to the Revere Public Schools Special Education Office, specifically in the translation of individual education plans and other official documentation from English into Spanish. Mr. Cardenas will be paid $160 per IEP translation and $5 per page for other documentation. In accordance with Section 20, Part B, I certify that the services will be provided outside the normal working hours of the municipal employee. The services are not required as part of the municipal employee's regular duties. The employee is compensated for not more than 500 hours during a calendar year, and no employee of the Revere Public Schools is available to perform these services as part of their regular duties. According to Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 268A, Section B, the City Council, Board of Selectmen, or Board of Aldermen must approve the exemption of his interest from this section. Therefore, I am requesting that you bring this matter before the Revere City Council at your earliest convenience and inform me of their decision once rendered. Thank you, and it's initialed by Dr. Paul Dakin, Superintendent of Schools for the City of Revere. Calendar item number 4. This is a communication from the mayor relative to the fraud, waste, and abuse policy of the City of Revere, dated January 30th, 2014. Dear councilors, in keeping with our commitment to our residents to always do all we can to protect their tax dollars, ensure efficiencies in government, and hold ourselves and our employees to the very highest standards of conduct possible, I have developed a fraud, waste, and abuse policy that is in accordance with similar policies used by both federal and state governments. I am asking the City Council for approval and then permission to distribute this policy throughout City Hall and the school department. It will be posted where applicable. Thank you for your cooperation. I am available for any questions you may have. Very truly yours, Daniel Rizzo, Mayor. Calendar item number 5. This is a communication from the mayor relative to contract salary renegotiations for the position of Superintendent of Public Works, dated January 30th, 2014. Dear councilors, the Unit A of the Laborers Union, Local Number 22, had requested that as a result of the additional duties of the Superintendent of Public Works has been required to perform due to the consent decree the city has with the Department of Justice and the Environmental Protection Agency, that on behalf of Mr. Donald Goodwin, the city reopened the contract in order to renegotiate an appropriate raise that is commensurate with these additional duties. It has become evident during these impact bargaining meetings that Mr. Goodwin's salary requires adjustment. The increase that has been negotiated would increase the base salary for the Superintendent of Public Works as of July 1st, 2013, from $93,626 to $103,626. There are funds in the budget to assume this increase, thus no further appropriation is necessary. Any further information that is necessary, please contact me. Very truly yours, Daniel Rizzo, Mayor. Calendar item number 6. This is a communication from the mayor relative to the Firefighters Union contract dated January 30th, 2014. Dear honorable council members, the City of Revere has received an arbitration award from the Joint Labor Management Committee in the arbitration of City of Revere and Revere Firefighters Union. When my administration came into office in January of 2012, all of the city unions were out of contract. The other city unions were out of contract since July 1st, 2012. The Firefighters Union was out of contract since July 1st, 2010. One of my first acts as mayor was to begin what turned out to be a long process of finalizing contracts with these unions. The firefighters were one of the first groups with whom we began negotiations. These negotiations came to an impasse, and a petition was filed with the JLMC by the union. In order to attempt to resolve the dispute prior to the hearings, informal communications were held with administration and union negotiators. However, the dispute was not able to be settled in this manner. After a multi-day hearing, where both the union and the city presented their individual evidence and arguments, a decision was reached by the panel. The time period of this award is 5 years. The simple percentage increase is 13.25%. This translates into a 2.65% raise per year over the lifetime of the award, or a total cost of this raise to the city is estimated to be $2.4 million. The city had previously appropriated funds into a reserve account specifically for raises. The total cost of the retroactive raise up to June 30th, 2014 is estimated to be $2,005,000. After the cost of other union raises are deducted from the reserve account, the balance that is available, $356,000. There is a shortfall of $1,650,000. The only account that there is availability of funds is in the stabilization account. The panel at the JLMC is aware of this availability. Therefore, I am respectfully requesting that the City Council vote to approve this arbitration award and further appropriate $1,650,000 from the Stabilization Fund to the Reserve for Contract Negotiations account. At the end of fiscal year 2013, I had requested the City Council to transfer $2,851,427 to the stabilization account until further appropriations. If this decision was not made, to be conservative with the use of the free cash, the city would have been in dire straits. I would like to express my appreciation to the fire union negotiators and their attorney for their professional manner in which they conducted themselves during this process. Further, I would like to express my appreciation to the city's negotiating team, Director of Finance George Anzoni, Attorney Paul Mulkern, and James Powers of Powers & Sullivan, LLC, for their professionalism and commitment to this endeavor. Very truly yours, Daniel Rizzo, Mayor. Calendar item number 7. Pursuant to Council Order 14-030, this is a motion presented by Councilor Giannino that the mayor requests the Department of Public Works to investigate the water drainage issues on Fennell Street at the corner of Borden Street. Due to the lack of proper drainage, water pools form year-round, and during the winter months, the pools freeze, causing dangerous conditions. Calendar item number 8. Pursuant to Council Order 14-031, this is a motion presented by Councilor Morabito that the following proposed ordinance amendment be ordered to a public hearing. An ordinance amending Title 8, Chapter 8.36, Sale of Tobacco Products, be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Revere as follows. Section 1, Title 8, Chapter 8.36, Sale of Tobacco Products is hereby amended by deleting the word 18 in all instances and inserting in place thereof the word 19. Section 2, this amendment shall take effect on June 1st, 2014. And this has been before the Council. A reading of the Revere City Council Agenda for the meeting of Monday, February 3rd, 2014. I'm Rick Promise, and I'll see you at the Council.